barbecue sausage, the iced tea, lemon, glass of wine, something on draft for you, margarita.
Iced tea.
Iced tea, no lemon.
Lots of lemon.
Lots of ice.
She can have my lemon.
Wow, put those hands down, Bev. Body language. That's page 1 of the Santa Cruz handbook.
You know it's all separate checks, right?
Our manager is instructed me that we're not
We're
allowed to
working
do
on
that.
that. We're working on that. Don't worry about it. We're working
We'll
on
probably
it.
be able to break out
They
this.
said that the first of this.
Check, check. Okay, guys, we're not going to start the meeting yet, but I did want to get your attention for just a second.
Did you get my?
There's a nice big hole in your way.
Okay, because I'm like.
Yeah, I noticed. If you want to go ahead and remove that while I'm speaking, go ahead.
It's a little dusty. So is there, how long the mic can move to this side of the?
Yeah, oh, well, that's,
No, so it's
we
gonna have to.
we just saw a perfect demonstration of why we should limit that. I'll do it this way. All right.
See, last time I taped them out.
Okay, guys, if I could get your attention for a second, Diva. Thank you. If I could get your, okay. For the first time, we are at a restaurant that requires a single billing. I just wanted to let you guys know that this is the first time this has happened. We didn't know until we got here today that, or actually, I was unaware until we got here today, that this restaurant requires single party billing for a party of our size. We're gonna have to pay a single bill at the end of the day, so try to keep a round figure in your mind of what you're spending on your meal so that we can settle up after the meal.
I gotta do this. I gotta do this.
Okay.
A round figure.
Okay.
Oh, I say let's just go. Let's all just pack it up and go.
No, okay, all right. I share your sympathy, I really do, and I share your conviction that the solution lies in that direction. However, we're here, we're going to make the best of it, and it's a lovely venue, and we've got a great company with us today, so we're going to have a good time and a good meal, I'm sure. Anybody who came here prepared to pay by credit card or digitally, that's fine. We will settle up whatever the meal is, and then you guys can settle up with us later, that's fine. We will figure out a way to make this work. Don't worry about it. All I'm saying is, please make sure that your name is on the sign-in sheet. And if for any reason you can't settle up before you leave, let's put a round figure next to it and we'll figure out later how to get the money to change hands. Is that okay?
But when you order a $10 meal, don't forget the 8% tax, and now they're adding 18% gratuity
Right.
onto that.
And she is giving us 10% off for seniors. So basically.
Yeah. Well, if they're taking all, okay. Well, then just figure to add 20% to your
gratuity. That's all.
Yeah. Just figure 20% over whatever your meal costs. That's the figure that you will put down for your meal today. When we go to divvy up the meal, the expenditures after the meal after today, that's what you'll be agreeing to pay later. Okay? Everybody on board with that?
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, thank you.
No, I just want to be tough with them. Of course.
Oh, and we can't use amplified sound in here, so you're just going to have to strain to hear my voice as best you can.
I was just going to say,
I've got an implant. You might be able to see the outline of
My daughter usually with me.
Yeah. What is she doing today?
Baby shower.
Oh, okay. Hers?
No.
Close friend?
Close friend.
Okay, all right. We're great on the curve. You know, friendship is like a subjective scale. So close friend, you can give her an out.
Somebody,
No, I have to know, because if she ditched on us just for somebody she met at the bus station, demerit, man, demerit.
since she's in the choir,
Buy something from them. Okay, guys, would anybody like to open with an invocation? We don't want to disrespect anyone's religious preference, and if you're accustomed to a meal with prayer, Reese, please. Thank you, guys.
Our gracious and loving Heavenly Father, no matter what situation we are, we congratulate you on the many blessings you've given us as Santas and Santa spouses and friends. May this meeting be open to all, and everything be stated that is actually truthful and to the point. We say these things in the name of the Lord's name. Amen.
Amen.
That truthful bit was for Diva, that to the point bit was for me. And as always, the first order of business is to thank our host, Debbie England, thank you. And of course, Ted Tardy was, I believe, the original contact for this venue. So we thank him for getting the, planting the seed which Debbie watered and harvested for us. I do want to recognize some new members, and let me, you know what, I decided to make a note on this over here. We have, let's see here, Rick Lang and Terry are our newest members so far. No, I take that back. We just took an application from Bernie Johnson. But anyway, Rick Lang just joined the chapter. His membership was accepted by the body last month. Today we accepted a registration from Bernie Johnson. Give us a wave. Thank you. We also have Lee Angel is ready to complete his application form. He's met his 3 meeting requirements. And he has, I presume, 2 sponsors, myself and another member in good standing. We also have, we'd like to recognize our newest visitor, Les Trujillo.
Ed Taylor is joined today.
And Ed Taylor! Thank you, guys. Well done. Keep it right here. Ed Taylor. There we go. Put a star next to your name too, so I can send you something. Okay, and Les, did we meet at the restaurant Friday night? Is that what that was? Okay. We have, well, you know what? We'll address this a little more in the new business later on. We ran into Les at the concert that we all attended. That our own Dennis Skiles was performing.
Good job it was, too.
That was a good time. That was a good time. And guys, I just want to let you guys know that we are a fraternity. We are a legal fraternity for the state recognizes us as a nonprofit organization, but the federal government recognizes us as a fraternity. Our primary obligation is to socialize. We are under, it's the law, actually. We really don't have any choice but to get together and have fun. It's actually a legal requirement. So we like to get together and support one another. You may recall that last month our chapter voted to donate $25 to the Psoriasis Foundation because our vice president was marching on their behalf. And of course, Lee Angel won the 50-50 last month and also made a personal donation to the Psoriasis Foundation. That's exactly the kind of thing we want to encourage. We want to encourage our members to support one another in their own, in their own endeavors and in their own personal lives. Dennis Skiles happens to be a very gifted musician. Those of you who attended the reunion this year and were able to attend the talent show on Saturday night, got an ample demonstration of his skills. He happens to be one of the most gifted Kenny Rogers, what do they call it? I know, but I thought that they were tribute artists. That's right. He's a tribute artist. That's what they call him on the tour. He's one of the most gifted Kenny Rogers tribute artists in the country. I mean, he really is. You just cannot believe how Kenny this guy is. Kenny called him one night and said, "You mind if I do my act later tonight?" He's that good. So anyway, a bunch of us got together last Friday night and went to the, what was the name of the restaurant? Senor Campos, that's right, where we went. And that's where we met Les Trujillo. He was just an innocent bystander. It's always the way it works, isn't it? And I believe we dropped a recruiting card on him, and we will talk about that later. That's going to be our new business topic today. Yes?
I wanted to point out the fact that he's actually better than
We don't want, okay, let's don't let that get out of this room, though. Because we have a picture of Diva singing with Kenny Rogers, and we wouldn't like there to be any competition. Okay, it was another tribute artist, but he was really good too.
Are we not tribute artists in the West?
Well, are we considered tribute artists for Santa? I don't know. You know, there are some, that's an interesting question. Santa has a unique trademark classification. Santa cannot be trademarked. It's been tried a number of times. And as it turns out, Santa is, you cannot trademark Santa. So we are all independent contractors, and we share the persona that we have chosen. But none of us can trademark the Santa Claus or the Claus in any way. Let me see, we recognize the members. Okay, yes.
He's not a member, he's a guest.
Oh, yeah.
Larry Lee.
Larry Lee, that's right. Larry Lee is going to be a member very shortly. We are getting his 3 visits out of the way, and we're checking with his probation officer to see if he can be able to. We think he's going to fit right in. We really do.
Right after your visit?
We were actually able to hand him right off to my probation officer. Okay,
business card later.
and a get out of jail free card on the back. Okay, that takes care of the opening remarks. I believe everybody in the room should have gotten a copy of the minutes along with the final notice and update for this meeting. I want to thank Bob Callahan for stepping in. Bob knows that this is a particularly stressful month for Diva and I because we are moving in a couple of weeks, and I told Bob well in advance that there is a possibility that I might have to take my eye off the ball, and he stepped right in and agreed to help me keep all the plates spinning if I can mix my metaphors, and he sent out a notice. Craig got the minutes together for us in a timely fashion early in the week. He sent them out to Bob and a couple of the other officers, and Bob sent them out to you guys. We made a couple of corrections and sent the final copy out, I believe, on Wednesday. So all of you guys should have gotten an email with the minutes attached. Having said that, is there anyone who would like to offer any corrections to the minutes as they were submitted? Was that you, Reese? No. Okay. Anybody offer any corrections to the April minutes? I will entertain a motion to accept the minutes as...
I make a motion to accept the minutes as written.
Thank you. A second?
I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept the April minutes as submitted by Secretary Craig Honorov. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Thank you. Without objection, the minutes are approved as submitted. Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Moving on, the Sunshine Report. Diva, I'm sorry they did not have a Wi-Fi connection here. Were you able to get your phone to connect? Okay.
No. Do we have any May birthdays in the room?
Yeah, anybody in the room having a birthday or your spouse having a birthday this
End of the month, 31st.
Well, we need to, he's a new member, so we need to
I'm
get his.
moving, so I'm celebrating the birthday by moving.
Look a lot older than 31.
Anybody who's a new member will be getting a rep. Huh?
I'll get it up.
Yeah. I was just going to put his name, his birthday next to it. Okay. All right. Anybody who's already on the roster, and of course the spouses are included as associate members. If you have a birthday in the month of May, you are going to receive a card from the Sunshine Secretary. Dave was very diligent about that. I know another 15 went out this week. So that includes also the San Diego chapter, the Inland Empire chapter, and associated people. Pretty much everybody on the Forbs roster, we try to take care of and make sure they feel involved. So we want to make sure that the new members, we get registration forms from you so we can get you into the the Sunshine Secretary cycle as well. You will get birthday cards, and we may even go back to collecting anniversary information and start sending out anniversary cards too. Now that we have a little bit of a budget, thanks to the success of our fundraiser, thanks to the success of our vendors chairman. And by the way, I do want to again say thank you to Debbie for organizing Quarter Mania last month, and the resulting fundraising are going right into the chapters. We will distribute them. We will share them equally with the other Southern California chapters, and they will go to help cover our expenses. Census head target. We cleared $624 after all expenses, and a check should be en route to Bob Callahan even as we speak. It should be in the post. So that money will be distributed among the other Southern California chapters, and we will use part of it to cover our sunshine. We use, as with the 50/50, we use it to cover our expenses, web expenses, the account for the send-out cards, things like that, so that we don't have to use membership dues for that unnecessarily. Okay, David, do you have anything else for the sunshine report?
It's really hot outside. There's
Okay,
fires
yeah.
in San Diego. Say your prayers for them, and
Sing
happy birthday to
to
May,
that
dude. And we're gonna sing happy birthday.
All right, go,
On
David.
three, 1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Santa Bernie. Happy birthday to you. And many more on Channel 4. Okay, I thought you had more of those.
Scooby-Doo on Channel 2.
This is the contrapositive of a sunshine report. I'm sorry to inform you that we had another former member take his final sleigh ride this week. The new members won't know him, but the old guys will remember Santa K.O. Johnson from the Inland Empire chapter. He was very active for a long time. Unfortunately, his Parkinson's has been accelerating over the last few years. He hasn't even been able to perform as Santa for some time, and in fact, toward the end, he wasn't even able to join us for our meetings and stuff anymore. So, those of you who knew him, I just want to let you know that Santa K.O. has taken his final sleigh ride. We'll include him in the memorial in January at the next luncheon. I believe I have no other reports of injury or upcoming surgery among the members. Sunshine Secretary would normally be in possession of that information, and she hasn't passed it on to me, so I will assume that even among those of us who weren't in attendance today, it is not because of infirmity or disease or injury. So thank God that we're all healthy and, if not wealthy, and wise.
Are you wealthy?
I've got you, babe. Okay, next on the agenda is the Orange County Activities Report. Would you like to take it from there?
Sure.
Thank you.
Yeah. I do want to mention at Quartermania there were only actually 7 Santas there. There was about 40 in attendance, and we actually made $1,100, which is amazing for that small of a group. But after paying everything, the pizzas, and we had to pay for the tarps to be put up and such, we ended up making $624. So, yeah.
That's so awesome.
That's right. That's money from nothing and a whole lot of fun.
So,
Yeah.
I would love to have another one. I don't know if we can or if we need to discuss that.
We will.
But my thought is September 28th.
Oh, that's even later. Okay, good. That might even be better. Well, I was thinking the end of August might be a little too soon, but mid to late September might even be better.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
And it
September
is
28th is what I'm thinking.
Guys, it is on like Donkey Kong. We're going to do this again, and we're going to have a lot more Santas next time.
It's a lot of fun.
It was.
A lot of
It
fun.
was a blast.
I'd never done it before myself, and I had a ball.
It was a lot of fun. And it is, it goes to all of our chapters, and it is for the outreach program. So, yeah, it was amazing.
It's a lot of work to set up. I will tell you guys that, and Debbie works with other groups. Debbie is part of what I call the boutique and vendor subculture out there in the world, and they have their own little world, their own little universe, and she has recruited a lot of help from a lot of her people in putting Quartermania together for us. A good number of the guests, as she said, we had 7 shows up. 7 Santas show up. I won't say only 7 Santas because I was actually kind of impressed that 7 of us showed up for something that we'd never tried before. And we're
from San Diego.
Yeah, I mean, some of them traveled from the Inland Empire chapter, the San Diego chapter, and there were some people who were willing to, stick it out a little bit to help us make our first attempt a success. So, thanks a very lot to Debbie and her friend Cindy for putting the Quartermania together for us and pulling some strings in the vendor world to get some really good vendors to participate, and they dug deep in their prize bags to pull out some pretty good prizes, and that's the reason I believe the participation was so active and it was so successful, because there was a lot of great prizes that were distributed that day. And the people who went home with prizes, you know, they went home with $50 gifts for 50 cents. So it was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun. What else we got going on?
June 8th is the summer picnic at the Alps, put on by Bob and Gretchen. And it's $5. If you haven't paid, we'd love you to make sure that you come to it.
We were gonna collect there.
You're going to collect it there?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, excellent.
To thank you for
Sure.
paying ahead, but we'll collect it.
Okay, excellent. June 25th is the Angels game put on by Lauren and Diane. And it is going to be a tailgate party beforehand. There is a list going around if you want to sign up for anything. And then the game starts, the tailgate is at 5:30. The game, I think, starts at 7.
Yeah, 7:05.
The tailgate is at 5:30.
It's a Wednesday. It's a middle of the week game.
Okay.
It's a Wednesday night game. Yep, and we will be, our tailgate party will kick off at 5:30 under the Big A. The broadcast that went out Friday has a map and everything, so join us for the tailgate party, and if you haven't got your tickets already, let us know right away. We bought 26 tickets, and I believe they're all accounted for. We're going to have to buy 10 more, and hope that we can keep the next 10 with the first 26. So if you're thinking about coming to the game, make sure you get your ticket orders in ASAP.
And the next is for August. I'm thinking of a luau at our clubhouse where we live on August 16th.
August what?
16th, it's a Saturday, and it's going to be a luau.
There?
August 16th.
Orange?
Okay, in Orange.
No, a yard park?
Yeah,
Yeah.
trailer park, yeah.
At the Englands, okay?
Yes.
And that'll be like a barbecue?
Yeah, it's going to be a potluck.
Potluck, okay.
It'll be a luau. Okay. I know, I'm excited.
Okay, good.
My other thing is I just kind of wanted to see if anybody's interested in doing a Mrs. Claus Women's Club.
Mrs. Claus Women's Club.
Well,
Like a Red Hat Society for the Mrs. Clauses.
That's right. So that's all I got.
thank you, Debbie, I appreciate it. I don't see anybody from the Inland Empire chapter or the San Diego chapter to describe their activities. I will. There are links to their chapter's websites on ours. So if you're interested in supporting the other chapters, and we do encourage cross-pollination between the chapters as much as possible. We're encouraging you to attend their events if you want to, and just go to their websites and see what they are. You know what? We send broadcasts out, and they have the upcoming events as well.
She didn't touch on July.
July 26th, the Quakes game? Okay.
No. Well, an Orange County chapter meeting.
When's ours?
In July.
At Dana West.
Ah,
Oh, that's right, yes.
my bad, my bad. Between now and July, I will get you the information for the July meeting. It is the annual Santa's by the Sea event. We have to move it up, if I remember correctly, to the second weekend of the month because our host, Santa Ed Howie, is the official King Neptune for the San Clemente Ocean Festival for like the 7th year in a row. He's going to be walking around the pier with a huge crowd of kids around him all weekend long. So normally we would meet in the 3rd weekend of the month, and we're having to move that up, I believe, to the 2nd weekend. But details will follow. Say it
July
again?
12th.
July 12th. Thank you very much. Isn't technology great? Okay, so the July OC chapter meeting is July 12th, and it will be at Dana West Yacht Club, and our host will be Santa Ed Howie, and again, more information will follow. I hope you guys are all getting the broadcast that we sent out. If you didn't get an email from me, I think it was Thursday evening, Thursday night. If you didn't get an email from me Thursday night, please get my card and send me an email so we can link up and I can make sure you're on the mailing list. I am really I'm really hoping that we can drag everybody in this group into the 21st century so we can start doing most of this digitally and online. Use those magic devices in your pockets and on your table, guys. The matrix is all around you. Let's start using it to help each other with. Okay, old business, as I mentioned. First of all, does anybody have any old business that they would like to bring before the chapter? Anybody have any old business that they would like to bring before the chapter? Okay. Go ahead, Bob. Thank you.
I would just touch on the fact of this fundraiser that
Last year.
Excuse me.
last year the luncheon was a success, and we sent out $500 to each chapter, and each chapter did a Christmas special. San Diego called it Santa's Special Delivery. They took the $500 that we gave them, and they raised it to like $2,300 and gave a Christmas to 5 different families. Inland Empire, they moved it. They raised another $500 with the $500 we donated to them, and they donated it to the Ronald McDonald House. And in our chapter, why we had $800. Actually, it was like, well, yeah, right about $800. And we have one of our members, Jim and Ann Steinmetz, worked with Breast Cancer Angels. And so they took one family that the mom was in stage 4 breast cancer, and living in a one room with 3 kids and her husband, and made a Christmas for them, got a Christmas meal, bought a Christmas tree with decorations, got 3 presents for each one of the kids. All the kids got pajamas, they got slippers, they got shoes, they got underwear and socks. And then in 3 other families, why they gave them presents. They didn't buy a tree and get a meal, but they did buy presents to the other 3 families, including the parents. So for 4 families, why we helped make a Christmas. So this $600 that we raised here will go to that. We have money. We just haven't decided how much we're going to disperse out of the luncheon fund, but it's going to be over the $500 this year.
Here, 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 here.
I wanted you to know that this fundraiser, these $600 that we're sharing with the others, it is earmarked to do our charity work.
Here, here. And I will point out that another obligation as a 501c7 fraternal organization is we are required to document a certain amount of community service. It's prorated based on the number of members we have signed up. So community service is our secondary mission. So we are obliged to support one another and socialize with one another. And of course we throw in a lot of training and workshops and seminars so that we can help the newer Santas with the sharing the experience and expertise of the older guys, the XX experience. So those are our primary obligations as a fraternity, and we take our community service very seriously around here. There's a form on the Santa Cyber Store. We encourage every member to document their community service, and even if you're not working completely for free, if you offer a significant discount to qualifying organizations, you can count that will help us satisfy our community service obligations on an annual basis. And of course, we all like to do the community service to Santa. As a matter of fact, that's how I started, was delivering baskets of free food and stuff to needy families in the, where was that at? Duarte, wasn't it? Thank you.
Can I ask you a quick question?
Sure, absolutely.
I don't know which Santa I named this was mentioned breast cancer. My mom died of breast cancer, so I support that. And I have 4 breast cancer patients. A teacher that I know, and I have one in that has COVID. They're covered, and I have a couple white ones. I've got 4 patients.
Okay.
I don't know if anybody would like that. Breast cancer.
They might make good raffle gifts too. And keep awareness up too. Yeah, absolutely. And we will definitely link you up with the Steinmetzes. It is their personal mission in life also. Jim is one of the lucky Santas who is financially capable of donating his entire season to charity every year. He's one of the few Santas that is in a position to donate his entire, and they do. They donate, you know, $20,000 worth of services every year. So, and that's, yeah, exactly. And that's in addition to the money that they raise. You know, they also help organize other groups to raise for their events also. Okay, like I said, I touched on the concert that we all attended for Dennis Skiles, and we had a great time doing that. There is also no other old business. I want to move forward to new business. We had a suggestion from one of the. I did begin with the question: is there any new business, any other old business? Okay. I brought these recruiting cards, and I'm about to have a wardrobe malfunction. Okay.
I thought that'd be a
And I said that out loud to give you guys a chance to get your cameras on. Whoever posted on Facebook first gets the most hits.
Does the insurance cover something like that?
Visual liability is a subclause. Read it.
Yeah, it'll make you go blind.
I wanted you guys to know that also we grow. We are a growing group, and as you can see today with the number of new members that we're accepting, and we've had some new members that we've actually inaugurated in the last couple of months. So we're a growing group. And I would like to encourage you guys to take a handful of these cards with you. These are actually the cards that we use to recruit with. On the front it says, has anyone ever told you that you look a little like Santa Claus? And whenever I see somebody out and about with a snowy white beard, it's a great icebreaker. Even the gruffest biker guy, if you walk up to him and say, has anybody ever told you you look a little like Santa Claus? Sure. They'll always laugh. And if they do, I mean, if they don't actually kick at you or something like that, you can just hand him the card and say, I'm with a group of professional Santas, and if you're interested, there's a lot to be said for having Christmas pay for itself every year. Give me a call. We'll let you know what's available for you. And on the back, it tells a lot about the organization. Of course, I didn't realize we could get print that small. I had to take my glasses and another pair of glasses, but apparently some people can read it, and we get calls off of these all the time. So we are going to be ordering a new round of cards, though. Old business. I mentioned last time that Bob was actually successful in getting our old websites back. We have been using Forbs Santas with 2 S's in the middle, ForbsSantas.com, net, and org. We've had to do that for the last couple of years while we were trying to get the original websites back into our domain. And Bob finally got that pulled off, and thanks a lot, Bob, for that. So we will be reordering all of our cards, and they will be changing the web address from Forbes Santas with 2 S's in the middle back to the original ForbsSantas.com, net, and org. In the meantime, these old websites will all remain active, so feel free to take the cards and use them all you want to. Anybody who drops us a line based off of one of these cards will get a response. And when we reorder the cards, of course, they will have the new addresses on them. And I'll be getting with Carrie at Wheaties and ordering the new cards. So,
I'll come back with some.
we had a suggestion from the events committee that we strongly encourage. As a matter of fact, it was proposed that we might even want to make a contest out of it. I'm not sure if we want to go that far right away, but we do want to strongly encourage you guys to take a handful of the cards. I always have about 5 of them in my wallet at all times. Thank you. And seriously, you can pull over on the side of the road if you see a guy on the, well, okay, no. I've had to exercise a little bit of discretion if the guy's sitting under an overpass. You might not want to just give him one. But, you know, if he's parking his bike on the, I have actually window of the car as we go by and gotten calls off of them. So, absolutely, we want to encourage the recruiting. And just a personal comment, all the Santas in this group know that we would be hard-pressed to be a shadow of ourselves if it weren't for the ladies, the associates, the Mrs. Clauses that support us every day, every day. I mean, my reliance on Diva is so fundamental. She's actually my hairdresser. So, as you can see, I don't treat my hair unless I need to, unlike some Santas, and I respect those who make the commitment to treat their hair throughout the year and keep it blonde and keep it white. But myself, I just think it damages my hair, so I only do it before I have a gig. I mean, if somebody called me right now and said they wanted to do a commercial, my agent knows I have to have 72 hours notice so that I can get my hair treated. But she does my hair. Other guys, their wives do their outfits. You know, some guys, their wives built their costume for them. And even beyond
He doesn't like to call costume either.
Okay.
Regalia.
Thank you. So even beyond that, even beyond the personal service and assistance that they provide to us individually, the organization itself relies very heavily on the women who help us out here. And if our ladies want to form, if they want to come up with some kind of additional recognition or associative title or something like that, I'm all for it. I will support you guys for whatever you come up with. I only ask that you not create ancillary events that might drain away the participation from our events. So, you know, if we're meeting on Saturday, please don't schedule a separate meeting for Saturday night or something like that, because it might drain away from our resources. But if you guys want, I mean, you're already associate members, and if you guys want to envision a more enhanced position for the associate members in this organization, as I've said before, any member of the organization can petition and the rest of the organization to revise the bylaws. All it takes is, legally, all it takes is a petition with 5% of the signatures of the membership to propose a bylaw revision. So if the ladies want to do something different with the chapter, the men, I'm sure, will support them, and we can get a proposal and work out whatever you guys want to do. So whatever you guys decide to do, we rely on you. Yes?
One suggestion on your card. I know you got a lot of stuff on it. Maybe you need to go to a double card. But a lot of times in organizations that I've been in, put a place for the member to write his name, like Senator Rick Irwin. And when they call in, they have somebody they've already talked to, and it makes them more comfortable.
Okay.
Yeah.
Referred by.
Yeah.
Or you might handle your business card at the same time you handle the recruiting card. That might work also. I'm not sure what the additional cost of a fold-over card would be, but we can explore that as well. Four services gives me more creativity space, so who knows. I'm working on a new preamble to our Constitution. I might put that on there. Okay. Is there anybody else who would like to bring any more new business before the chapter? Any other new business? Does anybody have any personal events or enthusiasms? I know that you guys have car shows all the time going on. You guys probably had one yesterday. You probably had one this morning. You probably have one tomorrow morning too. I mean, these guys. So take time to meet your fellow members and associate yourself with their interests too.
I'll make a quick announcement.
Yes, Ed.
I met with the Hello Santa. Any of you that did the video chats last year or didn't do it, I met with the Hello Santa people twice this week. They're expanding massively. They brought in a big partner. Last year they did, I think, 3,000 calls. They're expecting to do over 30,000 this year. They want like 185 Santas. So if you'd like to work from home doing video chats and whatever hours are available, it looks like it's going to be a great opportunity to do that this year. So let me know and I can get you the information. Give me a card or something.
Thank you, Ed. That's very, and for those of you who don't remember, Ed taught one of our best received workshops at the convention this year. He's one of our digital Santas, one of our own online clauses, and he will help you bring your promotions and your Santa business into the 21st century. Ed is a valuable resource, so feel free to get with him. And now he's actually a source of business opportunity for a lot of you new guys, especially. Yes. Nobody need my shirt? Yes. Okay. Okay. So, sorry guys. Does anybody want to do the
No, I just ate.
She caught me with two shirts on.
Oh, look, it's a leprechaun underneath.
And I want me pot of gold back. I won't be hanging from you. Okay, I'm sorry, Bob. That was your line. I'm sorry. Okay, I have been wanting to initiate a new segment. I'm going to keep this very short. I don't want to run any longer. But I've been wanting to initiate a new segment in the chapter meetings where one of the more veteran members shares his expertise and experience with especially the newer members. And there are a lot of opportunities there are a lot of areas where we can share our expertise with the newer members or even with other veteran Santas who may not have that particular experience under their belt. We can have a segment on bleaching at some point. We can have a segment on wardrobe and accoutrement and accessories and things like that. The workshops lineup that we had this year was it covered a wide variety of the areas of interest of the Santas, especially newbie Santas, and that is actually our third primary obligation or mission as a fraternity, is to provide peer support and training to our fellow members. So today I wanted to talk to you guys very briefly about whether you might want to, briefly touch on the types of Santa that are out there. I personally believe that there are three categories of Santa. There is the throne Santa, the guy who works at the mall, and he has who works at a high volume photo center, either at a mall or at a fair or something like that. One of our most experienced and most expert mall Santas with us today, I believe, is Bob Callahan. Bob was among the first Santas to ever appear at the Los Angeles County Fair. He also is one of our Santas who appears every year at the South Coast Mall, South Coast Plaza, I believe it is. Yeah. So there is one type of Santa, and this is probably the type of Santa that is most familiar to guys who are just thinking about getting into the business, because that's the most socially recognizable form of Santa, I believe, is the guy at the mall. The guy at the mall is his basic job, it seems to me, is, and I've worked Santa emergencies at the malls, and I was among the group of Santas that were selected for the Los Angeles County Fair back in 2006. We did that together for 3 years in a row. To me, the guy on the throne, his job is basically to make the picture look as lively as possible when they take the picture. He can, but he's not really obligated to get a lot of information out of the children. A lot of guys do spend that few minutes asking the kids what they want for Christmas in hopes that the parents will overhear it and they can, interface in that way. But it seems to me that the primary job of the high volume photo Santa is to make the picture look good and facilitate the families, get the next family in there and get the picture. You don't have to have a lot of experience. You don't have to have a lot of patter. You don't have to have a routine plan. You don't have to have bits that you're prepared to do. You are simply prepared to look good and keep the smiles, keep everybody smiling in the pictures and things like that. Then there is the private event Santa. Everybody who has, let me rephrase that. Many of the guys who've worked in the malls for a while become convinced that they would like to become private party and private event Santas. Diva and I have been doing this almost exclusively for the past 10 years or so. We do private parties, corporate enrichment events, employee events, things like that. Now this is what I refer to as an interactive event Santa. This is the Santa that has to have his game. He has to have an A game. He has to be able to entertain a crowd, and he has to keep the focus of the attention on him, and he has to keep the energy level in the party going at a certain level, at a certain acceptable level, and he may have to do that for an hour straight, and he may have to do that with no more than 7 people in the room. Now these are particularly challenging opportunities for an entertainer who is just starting out. I've been an entertainer for 35 years, and this stuff comes as second nature to me. But even I, when I first started as Santa, I was so nervous because when I'm on the stage singing, regularly, it's not really that critical what comes out of my mouth. The crowd is going to go along with me for the most part. Even if I go a little bit blue, the crowd's going to go with me as long as I don't get rude, crude, and socially unacceptable. But with Santa, I was so nervous that I was going to say something inappropriate, or I wouldn't have the right response, or I would say the wrong thing to a little kid. Eventually, of course, I got over that, and I'm glad I did, because like I said, that's the bulk of our business right now comes from private interactive parties. To me, the third kind of Santa is the guy who does, and this is in 2 categories. These are the guys that do promotion. These are promotional Santas. The guys who do the catalog work, there's a print promo Santa and a video promo Santa. The guys who are doing the video promo Santas, that's kind of the top of the ladder right there. The guys who go out there and compete for the commercials every year, and the guys who land the commercials every year and get the same contracts over and over year after year, those are the guys that are at the top of their game. And that's the glide path that a lot of Santas would like to find themselves on ultimately. So deciding where in your career, which of these 3 general categories you find yourself in, will help you decide how to prepare yourself for your season this year and how to prepare yourself for 5 seasons from now. And you should think of it like that. You should think of it what I'm going to do this year at the parties I get booked for this year, and what kind of parties I would like to be doing in 5 years. And hopefully you will have regular clientele. Diva and I have been doing parties we have 3 millionaires on our group, on our list that we've been doing for the last 5 years in a row, and their kids are grown up. I mean, 5 years, the 9-year-old is 14 now, and I'm still there, and the family wouldn't consider it Christmas if I didn't go in and sing a couple of songs on and things like that. So it's really rewarding to do that. So, other than the 3 types of Santa, the major question that's going to face you is, do I want an agent or do I not? Do I want to work with a booker or an agent, or do I not? Now, again, if you're a mall Santa, you are ipso facto working with an agent, and you probably don't have any spare time anyway, so this question is moot for you. If you're satisfied with your mall contract, God bless you. That's how a lot of people started. In fact, that's how most of the Santas got into the business. So if you have landed a mall contract, God bless you. That's great. And you don't have to worry about the rest of your season. You may want to think about next season. Many Santas transition from malls because the mall gives them evenings off, or they have split schedules at the mall and they can schedule weekday events and things like that. So even guys who are working in the mall can start to build their business outside the mall, but they usually don't have to worry about whether they want an agent or not. Agents are actually in 2 categories also, and I've mentioned it earlier. Bookers are not technically agents. A booker is somebody who has a website and carries their own insurance and promotes themselves as providing talent for parties. In the holiday season, they will provide Santas and elves and reindeer and Mrs. Clauses and things like that. But the rest of the year, they're going to provide Easter bunnies and St. Patrick's and all the other things. Those are bookers, and there are a number of good bookers out there. And if you don't have any bookers contacts of your own, I encourage you to join the Forbs Santa's Jobs Board. That is in my opinion, in season, it is your most fundamental benefit of being a member of this fraternity. We operate a jobs clearinghouse, a Santa Jobs clearinghouse for members only. And if your calendar isn't full, Did anybody in this room get any business off of the Forbes Santa's Jobs Board last year? I know I did. I did every year. Okay. Most of the jobs that were listed on the Santa Jobs Board were filled last year. We had a lot of Forbes Santas get jobs off of the Jobs Board last year. And more importantly, our bookers are allowed to have their own jobs board. So you can go onto the jobs board and look for references or referrals from other members, and there will be a separate jobs board this year for just the bookers and the agents. Now, an agent technically is somebody that you have a contract exclusively with, and they're promoting you to they're promoting you for a percentage of your income. With a booker, they're paying you a flat rate. They have booked the event. They may have other talents attending that event with you. Our bookers quite often send elves out with us. If the client wants a Mrs. Claus, I happen to have one. But if you're a solo Santa, or if you're a Santa whose wife or significant other doesn't do Claus with them yet, the booker may send another professional actress out with you. So the booker will sell the event, and you agree to appear at that event for a fixed price with the booker. An agent will get as much as he can for you personally for that event, because he gets 10% of whatever you make. So there's a subtle difference, but it's also a big dollar difference, because agents are going to get you things like convention centers and catalog shootings and photography spreads and video commercials and things like that. So the agent is probably a long-term goal for a new Santa. A booker might be an immediate opportunity for you guys. So I've gone over what I consider to be the 3 basic kinds of Santa. I've gone over what I consider to be the first fundamental question that you have to face as a new Santa. Do I want to get a booker or an agent, or do I want to continue to grow my business? And I've also pointed out that the bridge between all of those worlds is often a job in the mall. So, are there any questions, or would anybody like to share anything? Yes, Jim.
I'd just like to know, getting into the mall Santa, how much can you ask for, money-wise?
Bob?
As a first
Do you feel comfortable negotiating with your photographer or with your?
No, I just take what they give me.
Okay. And who do you usually work with?
When I first started out, they were offering me $15 an hour, and then it got up to $20 an hour, and I'm over $30 an hour at South Coast Plaza right now. I know Santas that get more, and I know Santas that get less. Pretty much they decide what they're going to want to pay, and if you don't want to do work for what they want you to, they'll get somebody else. I will say, I work in a unique situation in South Coast Plaza. There's 2 chairs in South Coast Plaza. It's a big place, and there's 10 Santas that work there. Wow. And we split it on up so that all of us are doing house parties and corporate parties besides working at the plaza. And of course, there's some people that are working full time, and they work at the plaza on weekends. So it gives some of us retired people a chance to get off on the weekends and do some of our own things. It's negotiating price. It's really tough to come up with a number.
Is it always the same photographer every year? I mean, same company every year?
It changed last year. It had been for 10 years.
Who was it and who is it?
It was an image photo.
Brent Varela, yeah.
That did our photography at our luncheon.
Yeah.
He had been there for 10 years. I cannot tell you the name of the company.
Is it Worldwide, Sepia?
No, it's not.
It's none of them?
It's not one of those.
Okay.
It's the people that sell balloons by the carousel there. These people also make all the balloons that Disneyland and Disney World and Disney Tokyo sells.
Oh, okay.
It's a big company that their thing was selling balloons, but South Coast Plaza had worked with them for many years, buying their balloons, and these guys said, well, we can do it. And so.
Did your pay change when the contract changed hands? Not significantly?
It's gone up a buck or two.
Oh,
like
okay,
every year.
all right, good. As long as it didn't go down.
No, it
You
ain't
know.
gone down.
It's in the venue's interest to go with the lowest bidder, and that might include lower.
And the same thing with house calls. Somebody say, well, how much do you charge? Well, I charge $150 to walk in the door. I know other Santas that will walk in the door for less than $250. And then there's some Santas that'll do it for $75 or $100, and they're glad to get to work. You know? So you have to decide what level you think that you can get away with.
And of course, we're helping with that. I like to flatter myself by thinking that we are helping in that regard as well. Just as we are helping stabilize the level of professionalism among the performers, if we can, you know, the greater compatriotism that we have among the talent, the better we can facilitate educating and enhancing our relationship with the bookers and the photo companies and things like that. I like to think that a photo company will think twice if they have a Forbs Santa sitting on the chair rather than just some independent guy that they hired out of Menifee or something like that who has no associations, and you know they can replace him just like that. I believe that they are a little more respectful of a Forbes Santa because of their affiliation with so many other professional Santas in the area. And because of the growth of social media, a black eye against one of us can be resented by hundreds of us. So we are in effect propping each other up simply by our fraternal association. Ted.
You asked about pay. Pay has a lot to do with the time too. I mean, if on Christmas Eve, you know, you're not going to want to take the door for less than $500, period. I mean, this life, people I know won't do it for less than $500 if you want to do it Christmas Eve. But if you do
Last two Christmas Eves, I got $200.
Yeah, well, you know, that's the
Most Santas quickly develop at least a two-tier payment system, or a price sheet, if you will. We charge a premium rate and an off-premium rate. Premium rate is anything from Friday afternoon through Sunday, late Sunday night. It's also Christmas Eve and anytime, and Christmas Day, of course. We charge, I personally charge for the first hour, I charge $150 for the first hour. I charge $100 for the second hour if booked at the same time, and then I charge $75 an hour after that, up to a 4-hour limit. Anything that, if they want me for more than 4 hours, we have to negotiate a daily rate, and it actually goes up a little bit from there. But premium is important. Weekdays are the cheapest, or most available and most plentiful hours for me. My calendar never fills up. Well, I take that back. Last year we had 23 weekdays in the month of December before Christmas Eve. No, excuse me, we had 20 weekdays in the month of December, and we had gigs for 17 of those 20 weekdays. So I usually use weekdays for my pro bono and community service events. We hook up with a chain of dental offices in Southern California called Kids Dental Care. I met them the first year Bob and I appeared at the Los Angeles County Fair. They have 20-something locations. A couple of years ago they split into 2 different businesses, so now I do 10 for one and 8 for the other. And I give them a significant discount on my, I give them 3 hours of my time for $250, which is a $200 discount. And then I use that $200 discount as toward my community service. I report that as my community service with this organization. And I wouldn't trade that for the world, I'll be honest with you. You know what? I love doing Orange County where the kids come up and say, you know, an 8-year-old walks up to you and says, I want a new iPhone, or I want a new iPad. And not just I want an iPad, but I want a new one. I have the iPad, I have the iPhone 4, and I want the iPhone 5. Right. You know, and the parents standing in the background going, yeah, they're going to get it. Yeah, they're going to get it, no problem. But when we do these community service events and we're going to neighborhoods, the crowd outside sometimes in the thousands of people waiting because Kids Dental Care guarantees a free Santa photo and a free wrapped present for every kid in their neighborhood. And these are the most disadvantaged neighborhoods in Southern California. When we show up at these events, the crowd is almost always single ethnicity. It's either an all Hispanic neighborhood. ¿Que quieres que te traiga Santa Claus? ¿Un regalo? ¿Dos regalos? Okay, that's my entire repertoire in Spanish, by the way. And it's enough to get me through those days because you only have 35 seconds with each family anyway. So you can spit out one line and they're down the hall and they all know you're going to use the same line over again. So, and of course there's some black neighborhoods and there's some really, and when this, the point is, when you see the family walk in and they're all dressed up in their Sunday finest and the kid's wearing a 3-year-old t-shirt, and flip-flops, and and I'm like, and they take that wrapped doll or that wrapped truck or whatever it is, and they are just so excited, and the parents aren't even embarrassed to admit that's all he's getting, that's the only toy he's getting this year. We're going to spend money on clothes and things like that, but that's the only toy he's going to get this year. Good. Do community service, guys. It's good for the heart. It's good for the soul, and it reminds you that it's the kids. Really, it's good to make money. Those people who don't have to make money being Santa, God bless them. Their lips to God's ears. The guys who have to make money at this stuff, God bless them too. I mean, it's a business, and God bless you for finding a niche in today's economy. But no matter how much money you make being Santa, don't cheat yourself on the pro bono. There are for every hour you get paid to work, there are 3 hours that you can donate to various organizations. And if they're not asking you themselves, most of the people in this room are identified as Santa wherever they go throughout the year, and almost everybody in this room at some point or another has had somebody say, "Can you do an event for me for free? Can you do something for my church group? Can you do something for my kids' school," or something like that. Most of the Santas who have to do this for a living don't know how to deal with that because they don't want to give up time that they could be earning money to contribute, to do their pro bono work. And that's going to be a subject for a later workshop. How do you calculate how much of your time you can safely, afford to donate to community service? The point is, Forbs gets a lot of opportunities. We get a lot of requests for pro bono work. We get a lot of requests for pro bono and discounted work. So if you have time slots available during the week, even if Christmas is approaching and you aren't completely booked for the weekend, a lot of these charities still try to have their fundraisers on the weekends anyway, because that's when their contributors are able to show up. So it's in their interest to have their event on Saturday afternoon or Saturday evening. And when they call to ask for a Santa to appear there for free, you have the unfortunate duty of telling them, "I'm sorry, but I'm completely booked for that time slot. Every Santa I know is booked for that time slot, and besides, that's our most premium time, earning time slot for the year." So if you can, we will get you pro bono work. We will put you to work in community service. Bob.
You covered a whole lot of ground. I just wanted to add one thing, and that's if you decide that you're a new Santa and somebody offers you a job in a mall, okay, it isn't what you can get per hour is probably what they're offering you, and you make up your own mind whether you want to take this or not. But two things you really ought to find out, and that's the hours. Some of these malls are just brutal. Some of them want you there at 8 o'clock in the morning. You have a half-hour break, a 15-minute break in the morning, a half-hour lunch, 15-minute break in the afternoon, and then to 5, 6 o'clock at night. And they want you there every day from the day after Thanksgiving until Christmas Eve. Every day. And
Now it's the something's in the
and that's hard on anybody. That's really, really hard. The next thing is, how far away is the bathroom from the chair? I have heard, it hasn't happened to me, I've just heard nightmares from other Santas that they won't let you go to the bathroom unless you change clothes, and the chair's here, and the dressing room's there, and then the bathroom's down there, and so you've gotta leave the chair and go get out of your clothes, and then walk the length of the thing to the restroom, then go back and change, and then go back to the chair.
Take that, your 15-minute break.
So if possible, why, it's nice to ask around and find somebody else that worked for this company and, or worked in this event. You need to double check on hours and breaks and possibility of any time off and restroom breaks especially. Can you just go when you need to? Or are you saying you gotta sit in that chair until such and such an hour?
Thank you, Bob. That actually, his two comments cover both categories, expertise and experience. If you didn't have the experience, you wouldn't understand the bathroom thing. And as far as the money thing, he's absolutely right. The recruiters will lure you with the huge lump sum. They might say $14,000 for the Christmas season. And then you find out that's 250 hours, or something like that. So absolutely, don't just leap at the carrot they have dangling there. $8,500 for 3 weeks or something like that. Ask the next question. What are the hours?
My brother-in-law, who works in Santa Claus in Florida, he ran into the same type of situation. Also discovered they were going to pay him till like February or March. So that was another thing. They weren't going to write a check at the end of the season. They were going to wait a long time down the road. But his was going to be like 14-hour days, 7 days a week for 6 weeks. And I just said, kid, you're nuts. And he bailed
Again, that's another benefit of being a member of a fraternity. If they do that to you and you're just the guy from Menifee, then who are you going to tell? Your family, your friends, your neighbors. And that's not going to inure to your benefit at all. But if you're a member of the fraternity, and that guy knows that hundreds of other professional Santas in Southern California are going to hear about what you just did to me, then your business might be impacted next year. So it's a slow and gradual process, but I can guarantee you two things. Number one, everybody in Southern California and maybe everybody in the United States of America has had a better Christmas in the last few years because of the 20 years of development in the Real Bearded Santa community. We have increased the quality of Santa performances nationwide in the past 20 years. We have, for one thing, all but replaced designer beards in the malls. That used to be industry standard. In the last 20 years, the Real Bearded Santa organizations have reversed that trend, and people are having better Christmases because of what we do. Because you have a membership in this organization, you can take credit for the improvement in Santa in Christmas. And number two, because we all have this mutually shared authority and responsibility, we can support one another, and we can ensure that we get better treatment from 100 of them, and they're going to have to respond. So we are helping each other, and we're helping everybody in the country. So take pride in being a part of this fraternity. I don't have anything else. Is there anything anybody else would like to add?
One more category that we did not cover.
Yes, Reese.
That is the theatrical Santa.
Okay.
Motion picture.
Actually, I did. The third category of Santa, in my opinion, is promotion. There's the photo promotions and the video.
Promotion is usually for a live audience or whatever. On camera work, that's totally different pay scales and everything else.
Okay. Well, I consider commercials part of the promo. If somebody hires you to promote a product or service.
He's talking about SAG activists.
Yeah. And of course, Reese is one of our SAG qualified Santas, so he's been around longer than dirt, though. So you guys won't get those. They don't issue SAG cards there, just because you've had the suit for 5 years.
Point of information, this entire organization, the first 9 Santas were theatrical Santas.
He's absolutely right.
On the set of a couple of motion pictures and whatever, and decided to form an organization many, many years ago when their first meeting was in Knott's Berry Farm in the Chicken Pie Shop. I happen to be number 12 of the first 9. Tim is number 11.
Well, if any of the new Santas are interested in the history of the Real Bearded Santa in Southern California, just go to our chapter website, santasoftheoc.com. click on About or Who We Are, and there's a whole page that show you the whole history. And he's right. The Real Bearded Santa was born 21 years ago with a commercial by Otto Versant, the German catalog giant. They had their catalog for the winter, had Cindy Crawford on the cover. They spent so much money on that, they decided to do a commercial to promote it, and they decided to pull out all the stops. The idea for the commercial was 10 Santas were required to deliver all of the goods that were being ordered from Otto Versant. So the very first Real Bearded Santa event was a commercial for Otto Versant. And those 10 actors, they were all professional actors, and the casting call that they all responded to said, must have own beer, must have own costume and real beer. So when they were deciding during the shoot, which lasted 13 hours by the way, during the shoot they did what all professional actors do. They shared war stories, their most and least favorite experiences in the business. And even limiting it to the Santa experiences, there were just so much going on, they decided that they'd get together after the commercial and continue the camaraderie. Because most of them were also professional Santas, 7 of the 10 were professional Santas, they decided to put it off till after the season. And they didn't get together until the last weekend of January in 1995. That was the very first Santa, Real Bearded Santa luncheon. There were 10 of them at that luncheon. When they decided, they had so much fun, they decided to get together the next year. The next year there were 13 people. 3 of the Santas had brought a guest. The other 7 realized we can do that. So by the 3rd year, there were like 20 people in the room, and it just started to grow after that. If you look, there's a picture on our gallery, there's a picture from every reunion, and you can see how the organization has grown. And that's how the Real Bearded Santas were born in Southern California. Any other questions? We got to get Santa Cliff back to the house pretty soon, so I'm going to have to take my leave. I hope everybody that needed my attention got it before or during the meal. If anybody else has any questions or problems, my contact information is all over the websites. We're going to let Diva take over and do the raffle, but I like to close the meeting before we get the raffle underway. So, if anybody else has any questions or business to bring before the chapter, now is the time. Since I see no, Evan, go ahead.
Why doesn't she put in the raffle totals in the minutes?
Oh, okay. You have the totals for, okay. If you know what the totals are for the 50-50, we can enter them into the minutes before we close the meeting. Good idea, Bob.
What was your question, Bob?
No, I wanted you to just tell Craig how much money we got and how much money we're giving for the
I know.
raffle.
How much did you keep?
The thing is, there's only 5 people in the room
Yeah.
that are part of that
So
group.
that's 70.
But I will mention, if there's anybody here who is going, yeah.
Paper around.
75, right? We collected $75 for the 50-50 raffle. Because it's uneven, we're keeping 37 in the Santa thing, and $38 is going to the winner of the
Tie goes to the
raffle.
tie goes to the member, not the
You
chapter.
all can stop freaking out. One, he mentioned the bylaws earlier and any rewrites on them. I know there's all this talk out there about rewriting them to not allow me to be in the raffle.
Actually, we've negotiated. You get to accept every other prize you win.
Yeah, I do. So we have $38 in the 50-50 raffle today. Are you closing up?
Yeah, $38 in the 50-50. That'll go into the minutes. One more thing before I close very quickly. If any of you are attending the Angels game and would like to participate in the tailgate party, the game is, as we said, it was Wednesday, June 25th. June 25th. The game starts at 7:05. We're meeting under the Big A at 5:30 for a tailgate party. It is going to be a good time. I personally guarantee it. If you'd like to participate in the tailgate party, these young ladies have organized a sign-in sheet. We're going to do a potluck, I guess would be the word for it. And we're also bringing a live grill so that we can have grilled hot dogs and stuff like that. But Diva and I will provide all the hot dogs. If you guys would like to contribute other dishes or whatever to the tailgate party, Debbie has a sign-in sheet right here, and we'd like your input on that. We'd certainly appreciate it. With no further requests or input, I will close the meeting. Thank you guys for participating. Oh, I'm sorry, Jeff, please.
I move that we close the meeting.
We didn't get to vote last time.
Well, to vote? Oh yeah, you know, actually, it's at the chairman's discretion. By the way, our organization at the regional level is bound by Robert's Rules of Order, but our meetings are run on cliffs.
Not on anything really.
Yeah, I can't remember. But anyway, we don't require a motion to, just for the record, we don't require a motion.
I know, I'm
It's at the chairman's discretion. Rosenberg's, thank you. Rosenberg's Rules of Order don't
Is there
require a
anybody
motion.
here that didn't get in on the raffle? That would be me,
Okay.
because I'm giving you all a chance today. So since we didn't get in on the raffle, if the president would pull it 50-50, I would appreciate it.
And you're not allowed to kiss tickets anymore.
Don't have any in there. Thank you, sir. And don't expect that all
She
the time.
put her glasses on for you guys. Vanity has a limit. Who knew? Who knew?
897
I got it!
665.
665. Over here.
Yeehaw!
Hey, Jim, how's
I need a
it?
whole lot of red tickets.
Good job.
Thank you.
Okay, so on our table we have some more gifts, but Terry first, Rick Lang and Terry first. Terry has donated one of those beautiful cards she was talking about earlier for the Breast Cancer Society. And awareness and all of that. So we're going to also raffle that off. What I'd like to do.
Upside down, there you go.
There we go.
Done for the Cure Breast Cancer t-shirt.
And it looks a little small for most of us in this room, except maybe him. So, but there's people in this room that knows a female that would enjoy wearing one of those. So we have to
use it
be
as a
winner, then
bandana.
Go for it. No, you're not. And up here we have some cool gifts I brought in today. So I'm going to let you, if your number is pulled, you can come up and pick what you want. Okay? Now I'd like to have as our cool dude of the day. Okay, one of them. Okay, pull the next one. Thank you, sir. 897-686. 686.
Here.
Yeehaw!
Yay!
Alright, did anybody watch?
Oh, you can pick which one.
Careful.
Have her pick the next one.
686, and you can pull the next. Sorry, I didn't let you do that. I didn't trust you as much. I'm just kidding.
What did we win?
You trusted my daughter last
Whatever she
time.
wants off that table. Thank you.
And she told us not to trust you.
697.
How about 897?
6977.
697.
Right here.
Oh, okay, the last three.
The last three. Come on up, girl. You can pick something off the table.
Oh, which are together? Oh, I don't know. I know these are together. Yeah.
Am I the only one that knows how to cheer when the raffle's taking place? Because I don't know. I tend to be like, woohoo! Okay, right. Thank you, Debbie.
Whoa!
Weather ticket.
Lake down.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yay!
Congratulations. Number 707.
Please step over to the gift shop and make your selection.
707.
707!
Let's go for it.
All right, you can get your shirt.
Yeehaw!
Yeah, you can have your shirt back.
That's you. The purse is mine, just so you know, and everything that's in it. So
Here's the tip.
Thank you.
those are little knives that pop out.
That's so
You have to have a party at your house now that you have that.
Thank you. Carrie, you want to pick next one or Rick? Nine.
Damn it.
I knew it was. I was looking right at y'all.
Hey,
689.
Diva.
I know, this is the first time I've been here for what, 2 years now? I didn't win it. This is the first time we won
Except the
anything?
plate thing that was
Already gone. Yeah, already gone. Yay! I knew it! I knew it!
Woo! Well, we know it's not that way because it's in my hand.
And by the way, if you guys come to the August,
689. No, I'm kidding, it wasn't.
if you guys come to the, what is it, the August meeting or the July meeting you guys are having?
709.
August.
Ludo.
No?
Oh, we have to wait.
Oh, yay! Come on up, girl. Or guy, whichever. Go pick some off there that's beautiful for your wife. Oh, wait. No. I put a ring on it first.
You should listen to Diva.
Dennis.
Christmas theme.
Sorry, did I?
Every vendor should have something holiday themed on the table. Tell her to put something up there.
672.
672, that's you.
Yeehaw! See, when I don't buy
Let's start at
tickets, I
35.
don't win
This is the right table to sit at.
Beyond that, I'll make arrangements. We have the
We still have
entire
7
message.
items on
We
the
can
table,
spread out.
so we're doing
We'll
good.
consider 35 your starting point. That's the only difference. Is make sure everybody puts holiday themed, at least one holiday themed piece of merchandise on the item.
715.
Saturday and Sunday, we have
Yeehaw! Cheer these people on. They put harder and money into your organization today, so thank you. Norm, you want to pick the next one?
I'm getting together with the executive committee
See, I didn't lie to you. I
sometime this
haven't won
week.
one yet.
So
You've got to buy
if you're
any tickets.
available, we'll.
698.
But I'll send an email out and make sure that you're, and you can, we can pitch that to the board.
Is that you? Yeehaw! Your wife would love a pair of earrings. I just know
Even if
it.
it's 3 days. I mean,
If she has pierced ears, that is. If not, you're going to have to put tape on
Give
it.
them the table and the
Thank you.
space.
Can you draw this for me? Sure.
Now, if we decide to
Just
explore
one.
on a Friday,
He's trying to take 2 winners out of there.
we will also have to certify
660.
if it does affect, we may
Started right back over here, didn't we? I knew it. See, I keep these numbers in my head, you notice.
150
Yes,
days.
sir, thank you. Megan would love a pair of earrings left.
They actually have funny statements.
Oh, there's 2 there, you pick one of them. There you go. 702. That's over there.
I'm 701.
I knew it. Plus you had 707, it was on the other end of that. Enjoy, Santa.
This time I actually.
Can I see your ticket? I
Being
do.
flexible too, but I
Because I'm totally cool like that. I know you had it, I knew you had it. I could tell by the numbers.
now,
I know you're not going to finish the presentation right now.
6,
checkout page that has all of the
0.
options available to them. But for those who are
Less
registered
is
manually,
more.
it gets pretty confusing. It's a burden on whoever's taking that order. They have
Yep,
to
you're
sell
40.
it.
Kathy just
But,
got
I have nothing
I'm sure it's a lady.
And there's 1 pair of earrings left. Gentlemen, you know you want to give your
We'll
wife
check
a
into that.
wonderful.
At this point, they go with,
Just 1 pair.
we'll start at
My wife's
3,500.
getting married, I don't want to.
Your wife will color her eyes. Oh, that's
I got in
wrong.
trouble about
Can
that.
you pull my next ticket?
I gave a wrong answer.
I asked him what color his wife's eyes are. How long have they been married?
You're not here, you can't talk.
Only 30 years and he has no
You're not
clue.
here at the meeting, you can't talk.
670, then the purple ones would look way better. 670. Yeehaw! Give him a hand! Yay, thank you! That was it! You have a chick to give those earrings to? Because I look good in green. Okay.
Oh,
Thank you all for participating today. I think that was it.
no, it's,
Okay, I would share.
oh, no, it's
You
great.
did a great job, guys. Thank you.
Thank you all for your generosity in tallying up your meals.
Yeah, fine.
Did we do okay?
We came out about right, and then when they took off a senior discount, when they took off $34 And so we ended up $45 to the good that.
Okay, so we'll be coming back here every month from now.
Well, there's $45 out of our members' pockets, so.
I make a motion to
I
put it
thank
into
you.
the dues that are.
Motion's been made to donate the overage to the club.
I second the motion.
Second motion, anybody, all in favor of donating the overage to the chapter, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Bob. And by the way, half of that should just go to Bob for doing the bookkeeping. We owe him a bottle of something.
Why didn't you say anything?
Listen to Gretch. Boy, did you marry well. Boy, did you marry well.
Because we were giving, you know, hey Bob.
Okay. Well, good to see you all.